With our block constants created, we can get the player and agent ready to play. As noted earlier, we are going to use functions to handle the separate parts of the game. The first step will be to equip the player with the blocks needed to play. To make a function, we need to open the function folder, which is under the advanced section. Just like with variables, we'll be making our own function. We have to give our function a name. Let's make sure to choose something clear so we can easily understand what the function does. Since this function is going to equip the player with blocks, I'll name the function equipPlayer. We'll need to change the default name of doSomething to equipPlayer, with the name in camel case. Camel case is different from constant case in that it begins with a lowercase letter and the beginning of each following word is capitalized. Using different cases for different parts of our code makes it easier to identify what each part is. When we click Done, a function definition block will appear in our workspace. The function definition block looks similar to an event block. It can't be attached to anything else, but we can put code inside it to define what this function will do. In this equipPlayer function, we need to give the player stone, give the player magma, and give the player ice. But before we give the blocks to the player, we should first clear the player's inventory. Let's go into the player folder, grab the execute block, and add it to our equipPlayer function. Then enter the command clear to make sure the player doesn't have anything they shouldn't have. Now, to give the players the blocks they need, we'll go to the mobs folder and use a block we've used before, the give block. Let's add it to the function. We have constants for our blocks in the variables folder, so we'll get the stone constant and add it to the value of the give block. We can keep the nearest player as the target and the amount as 1, since the player will only get one of these blocks. It's time to duplicate again. Since our player needs magma and ice block as well, let's duplicate the give block and add it to the function and choose magma as our constant. We'll do it one more time for ice. Now that we have our function, we want to tell our program when to run it and all of the code it contains. Let's go back to the onChat command block we already have. Like in our other games, we can use the word play as our command. When starting our game, we need to equip the player with the 3 possible blocks. So we can go into the function folder and choose the call equipPlayer block and add it to our onChat command block. Now the program will run all of the code in that function whenever we use that single new call function block. In this video, we created our first function and used it to equip the player with the blocks they need at the start of the game. In our next video, we will prepare our agent using a similar strategy.